every time I go to put the camera in there. Well, he got something. Bear with me. Okay, let's ignore all those other ones. Hello, Ben. Hello, Philly. Start at 58. Let me grab some coffee. Well, Philly, after each game, I enter the game manually into the Strat-O-Matic Windows game. It keeps all the numbers. Yeah, every time I put the camera in the mount there, what happened was it would press on the on-off switch, kick me out, then I'd go to click it back on, it would say enter your password. Well, I can't reach the keys when it's in the holders, then I had to take it out. Then, of course, it goes into it flips it goes into the long view, which is really hard to see. I still think we could be in a little bit. Well, that's too far in, isn't it? Now we can't see anything. All right, there we go. That's a happy medium, I think. Hello, Scott Johnson. Okay. Yeah, that was a nightmare, let me assure you. Next time, I've said it before, next time I gotta bring my screw down. This thing is terrible. It's really a tight pincher. It turns shit off. Hello, Larry Harris. Anyway, finally we're live, right? We're going to have the Tigers at the Senators, the opening game of a 3-game set, which is kind of weird because all the other series seems like have already started. And we'll have Denny McLain, a 20-game winner that year, on the mound. Diego Segui starts for Washington. Here's the stats for the pitchers. McLain having a fine year, 6-3, 2.97 in 14 starts, 5 complete games. 2 of them shutouts. In 106 innings of work, only 82 hits allowed with 80 strikeouts. For Diego Segui, 3-6, 3.90, 9 starts, 3 relief appearances, 58 innings of work. Segui's actually outperformed his card to this point. Let's get to our lineups. For Detroit, Dick McAuliffe leads off at third base. Dick Tracewski in the lineup at second base again, to which it begs the question, why? Look at that card against righties, not much there. And yes, he's a 2 at second base, but with an E47. Norm Cash bats third at first base. Al Kaline in the cleanup spot in center field. Jim Northrup, a boyhood favorite of mine, is in right. Willie Horton, who's on freaking fire, in left field. Bill Freehan, the catcher. Ray Euler is at short, and McLean, the pitcher, hits ninth. How is everybody doing today? Let me take a look back at the chat. If anybody's found me by now. After the fall starts. Hello, Joel. Scott Johnson's back as well. Umpires for today's contest. That's going to be Lou DeMuro calling the balls and strikes. John Rice at first, Jim Odom down at second, Larry Knapp at third. And they said, "What do you mean?" Ben, are you trying to abstain? Is that your New Year's thing? I say all in moderation is fine, but that's just me. I've been overdoing it since I've been in California, though. I had another In-N-Out burger today. That was wonderful. I took Mookie with me. I've got some car footage of him. I'm going to try to remember to post some of that stuff up later. Non-baseball related. Well, good for you, man. Good strength to you. Hello, Dave. Boy, it is the best, isn't it? Mookie, he seems to be liking it. I get the feeling he'd probably rather be at home, but he's being a good sport about it. And let's play ball. We're a little bit late, but whatever. That's how it goes on vacation. Dick McAuliffe's going to lead it off. Let's bring up the numbers. McAuliffe on the year is hitting .228, 12 home runs, 25 RBIs, among the league leaders in walks with 40. Left-handed batter. Facing Diego Segui. That's right. The pitch is a 6'10 left-handed. That's a swung on and miss, strike three. Segui fans McAuliffe, and we are underway here on a happy hour Friday game. And happy hour for me and for Ben now, apparently. A fine hot cup of Joe. Nothing wrong with that. I prefer it, actually. Here's Trzaskowski hitting .222, just 4 for 18, hasn't played much. Hopefully won't play much more if you're a Tigers fan. Segui with a 2-6 right-handed struck him out. And Segui announces his presence with authority, fanning the first two Detroit batters. And here's Stormin' Norman. Cash on the year, .258, a dozen homers, 32 RBIs. Segui into the windup. That's a 2-9 righty. Routine grounder to second, fielded by Blasingame, who throws him out, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Diego Segui. So after a half, it's Detroit nothing. Washington coming to bat against Denny McLean. And I always have to, because of the new setup, I have to constantly make sure I'm in frame, as the score sheet tends to slide around on me. Here's the lineup for Washington. Don Blasingame is at second. Fred Valentine is in center field today with Jim King in right. Fan favorite Frank Howard in left field in the cleanup spot. Ken McMullen will be at first base. Bob Savarin gets the start at third. Doug Camille will do the catching, Eddie Brinkman at short, and Segui, the pitcher, hitting ninth. All right, let's bring up the Washington stats here. Again, working with just one computer on the road. So I have to flip back and forth from screen to screen. Once we get through the lineup for everybody once, I don't have to give the stats. I don't have to give them at all, I guess, but I like doing it. I enjoy it. I think you guys do too. He's settling in here though, Dave. Yeah, he doesn't, but he's pretty good. He had a good time at In-N-Out Burger. He wanted to look at and talk to everybody. Blasingame leads it off with a 246 average, no homers, 6 runs batted, and a left-handed hitter as Denny McLain goes into his windup. That's going to be a 5-7, and he loses in ball 4. A leadoff walk to Blasingame. Blasingame no threat to run. McLain a -2 hold, and Freehand, of course, with that -3 gun behind the plate. So good luck running against this battery. Here's Fred Valentine, the switch hitter, hitting .269. 7 homers, 19 RBIs. McLain out of the stretch. That's a .210 right-handed. Ripped into right field. It's over Northrup's head. A triple on a 1. It's going to be a double. Blasingame rounding 13. Northrup a -1, 12. They're going to hold him with nobody out. And the Senators in business right off the bat here against Denny McLain. Second and third, nobody out, and Jim King coming to bat. King batting .240, but in just 150 at-bats, he has 9 home runs and 24 RBIs. Early in the game, we're going to roll for in or back. 1-3 will be in. And they will pull it in for King. McLain studies the runners, studies the sign, the windup, the pitch, 3-6 right-handed, and he walks him to load the bases. Oh my goodness, so a rough start here for Denny McLain. That's going to send Bill Freehand out for an early mound visit. Welcoming in Ernest Cruz. Holy cow, so McLain has loaded the bases here. 2 walks and a double, and big Frank Howard coming to the plate. Howard batting .305, he leads the team in hitting, 6 home runs, and of course, well not of course, but not surprisingly, a team leading 33 RBIs. Infield at double play depth now with the bases loaded and nobody out. They'll give up a run to get 2 outs. McLain nodding, the full windup. The pitch to Howard on a 1-8 right-handed. Ball 4, and that forces in a run. Holy cow, Denny McLain just cannot find the plate here in the early going. Not what Tiger fans were anticipating out of Denny McLain. Eddie and Joe. It's DeMuro, Rice, Odom, and Knapp. Ernest, I'm not sure if that answers your question or not. Here's McMullen. Ken McMullen, first baseman. .225, 8 homers, 29 RBIs. The 29 RBIs, second on the team to Howard. Infield remains back. McLain with a .311 right-handed. It's a grounder to third base, B. I'm going to have to check that. Bases loaded back on a B, a 4. Runner on first out going to second. So .311. Sorry about this. Grounder to third, McAuliffe to Trzeski for 1. He goes to first, not in time. So that's a 5-4 force. Another run scores. King winds up at third base. Valentine crosses the plate to make it 2-0, and that's just the first out of the inning. That'll bring up the third baseman, Bob Savarin. Savarin hitting .248, 3 homers, a dozen RBIs. Looking at the ground ball A's now on Savarin's card. Looks like about 10 of them. That's not many. Euler and Trzeski, so you got twos up the middle. A B bunter. Detroit elects to bring the infield in with one out. The pitch to Saverin is a 3-11. Ground ball to third base B. McAuliffe has it, goes to freehand to get the force. The infield in pays off big time. Oh, Eddie Brinkman and the umpire Brinkman. I get it now. I'm a little slow, Ernest. Here's Camille, the catcher. 2-0 Senators, 2 out, runners at first and second. Camille hitting just .217. He does have 3 home runs, 10 runs batted in. Here comes the pitch from McLean on a 5-11 righty. High fly ball to deep left field. Horton back at the track at the wall. Gone. Holy crap. Doug Camille with a 3-run bomb, and the Senators blow it open here in the first inning. 3 ribeye steaks for Camille, and just like that, before the seats are even warm, it's 5-0 Washington. If we were playing super advanced, McLean would be fatigued. Here's Brinkman. Eddie Brinkman at .255, 2 home runs, 22 RBIs. The wind-up on the pitch on a 5-6. Routine grounder to short, fielded by Euler, who throws him out, and mercifully for the Tiger fans, the inning comes to an end, but the Senators plate 5 on just 2 hits. Now they lead at 5-0 after an inning. 3 walks in the inning from McLean. So McLean will sit down and think about that. And Diego Segui will come out for the second inning. Kaline, Northrup, and Horton. Willie Horton, speaking of who's hot, Horton in the last 10 days, .458, 3 homers, 10 RBIs. This Tiger team, 296 runs scored on the season, 82 home runs. They're certainly capable of coming back if they can hold them right there. And Segui with a poor card, despite the pretty good results so far. Kaline leads the team in hitting among qualifiers, .333, 11 homers, 38 RBIs. Here comes Segui with the windup and the pitch. That's a 6-7 right-handed, swung on and missed. Strike 3, third strikeout now for Segui. Boy, right now it feels like these pitchers have changed bodies. Segui pitching like McLean, McLean pitching like Segui. Here's Jim Northrup, .244, 7 homers, 27 RBIs. That's a 2-2 righty, and he plunks him. That's going to be an 8, and he will take his base. So with Segui, no apparent reason to be throwing at Northrup here. Northrup a star 15. The battery is a 0. 75%. They're going to hold him at 13, and the batter will be the red-hot Willie Horton. Hello, Franklin. I apologize for you guys that tried to follow me around to several false starts there. Believe me, nobody more frustrated than I was. Every time I put the camera in, it would click off. I tell you, if I could find a screw-down holder at Best Buy, I'd go down there and buy it. There's one in San Luis Obispo. I might look into that. Runner at first for Horton. Segui out of the stretch now. 1 down. Here's the pitch. It's a 5-4 righty. Fly to center field X. Tough chance for Valentine. He's a 4. Valentine to 4E8. Going back on it now. On an 18. He's there to make the nice running catch for the out. 8X, 2 down. It will be up to Bill Freehand, the catcher, the right-handed hitter. Comes into the game at just 202. 5 homers, 21 RBIs. Segui with the pitch on a 4-10 right-handed high pop fly to shallow left. Howard jogs in, waits on it, and makes the catch to retire the side. So Segui hit a batter, but other than that, he set him right down. And it's still 5-0. I like bets. Segui's ringing him up like a cashier at the Dollar General during a clearance sale. Phil, you changed, man. Beverly Hills Cop. Segui will lead off the bottom of the second. He is a 1 right-handed hitter. On a 1-9, struck him out. Maybe that's just what McLean needs to get back on track. Here's Blasingame, who walked his first time up. The pitch is a 3-8 right-handed. That's a liner to second, single to 10. That's gone to 10. He's got the single. So Blasingame with a 1-out single. Here's Fred Valentine. Valentine with a double his first time up. McLean from the stretch. Here's the pitch. It's a 6-3 left-handed. Fly to right field X. Tough chance for Northrup. A 4E7. Racing towards the line. On a 1. He cannot get it. That's down and into the corner. Racing, rounding second is Valentine. He's on his way to third. Blasingame will score as Valentine slides in with a triple. And that makes it 6-0. And now we're also on cycle watch for Valentine. Wow, we've already got action in the Detroit pen. Right. Who are you going to go to here? Who are you going to go to? Let me check the usage display. I'd like to go to Pena. Yeah, he's got plenty of usage. Orlando Pena throwing in the Detroit pen. I'd have the same problem, Franklin. Although, as you can see here, I'm just going to put a little thing in there. It's turned me into Aqualung 1956. Valentine at third. It's a 6-0 game now. They'll bring the infield in for King. Starting to get the feeling that McLean just doesn't have it today. McLean pitching to King. 1-5 righty. Grounder to short A. The infield in will save a run on that one as Euler looks the runner back and throws him out. Here's Frank Howard now. Thinking about walking Howard. Not much to be gained by doing that. McMullen's almost as good against righties. McLean with the pitch to Howard. It's a 5-9 right-handed. That ball is crushed to left center. Going back is Horton at the track, at the wall. It's gone. Home run, Frank Howard, and the route is on. Holy crap. Not what I was expecting today with Denny McLean on the mound. It is 8-0, and here comes Swift, and McLean's hitting the showers early. Jogging in is Orlando Pena. can move that over a little bit. Just 1 2/3 for McLean today. Five hits, 3 walks, just 1 strikeout, and that was the opposing pitcher. For Frank Howard, by the way, that is his 7th home run of the season. Here's Pena, his numbers on the year. 3 2, 5.09, 40 2/3 innings of work, right-handed pitcher. Pena ready to go to work now. McMullen 0 for 1. Here's the pitch. 6-9 right-handed, swung on and missed, strike 3. 3 more for the Senators on 3 hits, nobody left. And it is an 8-0 blowout here on a Friday. Anybody got any good stories? Oh, man. Segui, probably the happiest man in the ballpark right now. He's got an 8-run lead going to the 3rd inning. Ray Oyler will lead it off for Detroit. Here's the pitch to the light-hitting Oyler on a 2-5. He rips it into the left center gap, triple to 10. Oilers, it's into the gap. Oilers headed for second, rounding second, digging for third. The throw, he's in there with a triple. First Tiger hit of the game. And it's by Oyler. I should have double switched. Well, you know what? Pena's a 1. Oh, I didn't bring other pitchers' cards. Yeah. Okay, for the time being then, we'll just use the one for Segui. The pitch is a 6-4 righty. It's a grounder to third base X. That's going to be Severin, a 4-18 to his left. Here's the play. On an 18, he's got it, and as he throws to first, the run will score. So 5-3X, Oyler crosses the plate with the first Detroit run. If it goes on further, I can go into the other room and get the folder where the pitcher's hitting cards are. One down for McAuliffe. Segui gets the sign from Camille. That's a 3-4 righty. Grounder down to first base, fielded by McMullen. He shovels it to Segui covering, and there's 2 down. Here's Trzaskowski. Segui into the windup. 2-6 right-handed. He struck him out. Trzaskowski caught looking for the 2nd time today, and the Tigers settle for a lone run. 1 hit, nobody left. Good gravy, Ben. That's true. 2-10 walk, the only thing on a 1 pitcher's hitting card. Bob Severin will lead off the bottom of the 3rd, batting lefty against Pena. Pena's pitch is a 6-6 lefty. Liner to second, single to 3, and on a 2 he gets the single. The Senators not only hitting well, but they're getting every break imaginable here so far. And here's the catcher, Camille, who launched a 3-run bomb in the first. Pena out of the stretch now. That's going to be a 4-10 right-handed. Grounder shortstop X. This should be 2. Euler a 228. Here's the play on a 5. He's there. But he has to charge the slow roller, and his only play is to first. So a fine play by Euler to get the out. And Savarin winds up at second base on the throw to first. 1 down for Brinkman. Pena comes in there with a 5-2 righty. That's a high fly ball to deep left field, backing up his Horton at the track, at the wall, leaps up and makes the catch at the wall. Oh my, let's take another look at that one. 5-2 homer to 16, and Brinkman does have the end power against righties, but he rolls the 19. It's just allowed out to left. Here's Segui. The pitch. 2-10. There it is. Ben, you called it. He walks him. Oh my goodness. He tore into you. There's no excuse for that. Unless you were completely incompetent at your job, and I'd bet the house that you're anything but. First and second, 2 out. Blasingame has walked and singled so far. Pena into the full windup now. It's going to be a 4-8 left-handed. Grounder down to first. Cash will take it to the bag. And that'll do it, and the Senators strand 2. Going to the 4th inning now in an 8-1 ball game. Not what we expected for a happy hour game, but it is what it is. Even the best pitchers some days just don't have it, and such was the case for Denny McLain today. Norm Cash will start off the 4th. Diego Segui rated just 5 for starter endurance as he gets set to work in the 4th. The windup and the pitch to Cash is a 1-6 righty. Called strike 3. Holy cow. 1, 2, 3. That's 5 strikeouts now for Segui. Here's Kaline. He was a strikeout victim in the 2nd. Segui. It's a 5-4 right-hander. Fly to center field X. That's going to be a tough chance for Valentine. He's on his horse, a 4-E8, and here's the play on an 8, and he can't get it as it drops in for a base hit. So Kaline reaches with the 1-out single, no threat to run, and Northrup the hitter. Northrup, of course, was plunked in the 2nd inning. Segui working out of the stretch. Comes in with the 3-5 right-handed, swung on and missed, strike 3. Holy cow, Segui is mowing him down. We're at the barber shop and Segui is handing out buzz cuts. Here's Horton. The windup and the pitch is a 2-11 right-handed. That's hit high and deep to left, backing up his Howard on the track, pulls it in. Oh my, Willie Horton gave it a ride. But it died on the track in left, just a loud out. And for the Tigers, no runs, 1 hit, 1 left on. If idiots could fly, I'd be working at an airport. Oh my, that's funny. Pena's worked 1 1/3. This will be his last inning. Fred Valentine will lead things off. Pena gets the sign. The right-hander deals on a 6-8 lefty. Grounded to second. Routine play for Trzaskowski. 1 down. Here's King now. A walk and a grounder to short. Pena into the windup. 4-4 left-handed. High pop fly to shallow right. Northrup jogging in, waits on it, and gloves it for the second out. Here's Big Frank Howard, a walk and a 2-run bomb. The pitch from Pena is a 4-9 righty, grounder to short X. That's going to be Euler once again, 228. Into the hole goes Euler on a 13. He's there, plant, strong throw in time, and the side is retired. A nice play by Euler. And the first 1-2-3 inning for Detroit pitching. We're through 4 innings. It is all Senators, 8-1. Pena will be lifted for a pinch hitter in the 5th. First endurance inning for Segui. So it'll be Freehan, Euler, and a pinch hitter here in the 5th. Freehan 0 for 1. Segui gets the sign. Here's the windup on the pitch. That's going to be a 3-9 righty. Grounder to short. Routine for Brinkman. Throws to McMullen. 1 down. Segui's only allowed 2 hits in this game. And here's Ray Euler. He has 1 of them. Tripled and scored the Tigers' only run in the 3rd. Segui with the pitch. That's a 4-11 right-handed. Fly ball left field X. Tough chance for Howard. Howard lumbering over, trying to get there. 5E5. Here's the play on an 8, and it's the error range. So it's a 2 on an E5. It's the white split dice. 1 through 5 is a 3-base error, but on a 6, he makes the catch. And if you're pulling for Detroit today, wouldn't you know it? I know we have a lot of Detroit fans here in this bunch. All right, pinch hitter. Who are we going to use early in a blowout game? Let's get Jake Wood in at bat. No sense wasting Gates Brown, at least not just yet. So here's Wood with 2 down. Woody on the year sports a 284 average, 1 homer, 8 RBIs. Segui into the windup. 6-8 righty, that's banged for base hit. It's a triple on a 1. He'll hold with a long single. So Wood off the bench for the pinch hit single. Good speed on the bases. He'll be held at 13 for McAuliffe. McAuliffe 0 for 2. Segui from the stretch. It's a 3-6 righty, and he struck him out. So McAuliffe fans for the second time today. Detroit comes up empty in the 5th. And we're halfway through a blowout. It's 8-1 Washington. New pitcher. Let's see who's going to get the mop-up duty. Probably going to be Monbouquet. Now what happened? Let's see if we're still connected. I think we are probably. I lost my screen. Anybody, can you still hear me? Do we still have field? Now this has never happened to me before, so this is the kind of day we're having. I've completely lost my laptop. Bear with me. Jeez Louise. Oh, man. I'm flying blind here. Okay, you've got everything, but I have no way to monitor. Hang on. Let's try Task Manager. For some reason, iTunes wants to keep opening. Let's see if I can get back into Chrome from another. No, I hit Chrome and I get iTunes. Hang on, we have something. That was totally weird, Ben. Every time I hit on my taskbar at the bottom, every time I clicked the Google icon, iTunes would launch. So the thing was completely confused. Nothing but problems today from the technical aspect, but it looks like we're good. Hope everybody can. I think you could see and hear me the entire time. I was just flying blind because I had no computer. The camera was working fine. Hell, I've streamed live from my car before, so you certainly don't need the computer. Anyway, it's going to be Bill Monbouquet getting the mop-up duties today. And we're in the bottom of the fifth. Ken McMullen to lead it off. Here comes the pitch. Monbouquet with a 5-7, swung on and missed, strike 3. Here's Savarin now, 1 for 2. Left-handed hitter. The pitch, a 6'11" left-hander, and he bangs that into right field for his second hit of the afternoon. The Senators brought their hitting shoes today, fellas. Here's Camille. Homer and a grounder to short. 3 RBIs. From the stretch, it's a 6'10" catcher's card. That's going to be Freehan, the Gold Glover. 1-E-2. On a 19, it's a foul out to the catcher, 2 away. Eddie Brinkman 0 for 2. Monbouquet with the sign. The pitch on a 3-3. Fly ball to left. Routine for Horton. And a fine inning by Bill Monbouquet. So we're through 5. Despite all kinds of technical misfunctions here today. And it is 8-1 Washington as we move to the 6th. Second endurance inning for Mr. Segui. Dick Tracewski is struck out twice. Six righty, and he walks him. Boy, Segui has got to be irritated with himself for walking Tracewski. That's a guy you just pump 3 down the middle to. Runner at first, nobody out, and here's Stormin' Norman 0 for 2. Segui from the stretch now comes in with a 4-11. It's a fly ball to left field X. Tough chance for Frank Howard. Howard a 5-E-5. Headed to his left. On a 7. He's not going to get to that. That's going to drop in for a base hit. All the way to third goes Tracewski. And now they better get busy in the Washington pen as one more hitter walk will fatigue Segui. Right, left, right, a lot of righties. Let's see who they're going to use. Jim Hannon throwing in the Washington pen. First and third, nobody out. Tigers trying to break through here in the 6th. Al Kaline, they got the right guy at the plate. He's 1 for 2. Infield at double play depth as Segui comes set. From the stretch on a 1-5, he walks him to load the bases, and that fatigues Segui. And Hodges is going to come out and get him. In from the pen jogs Jim Hannon. Hannon will be the long man here today. Segui goes 5+, surrenders just 4 hits. A lone run so far. The bases are loaded and they're all his. Walked 2 and hit a batter. And amazingly, struck out 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Jim Northrup at the plate, Willie Horton to follow. Let's take a look at Hannon's numbers real quick. No, I guess we won't because it won't let me bring up my taskbar is effed. Only thing I could do at this point really is reboot the computer, and I don't want to bother with that. So we won't be seeing Hannon's stats, unfortunately. Bases loaded, infield at double play depth. Hannon ready to go to work now. Here's the pitch to Northrup. It's a 5-6 left-handed. Base it into right field. 1 run will score. They're waving cash in. He will score. All the way to third goes Kaline on a 2-run single by Jim Northrup. And there's life in the Tiger dugout. 8-3 the score now. And the red-hot Willie Horton coming to bat. Horton could get him back into this game with 1 swing. He's 0 for 2 today. Hannon checks the runner from the stretch now. 3-4 right-handed ground ball to third B. That's going to be Savarin to Blassett game for 1. On to McMullen, not in time, and another run will cross the plate. Northrup is erased as Kaline comes in to score. Give the RBI to Horton. And it's an 8-4 game. 2 down for Bill Freehan. No, 1 down for, 1 down for Bill Freehan. That's just the first out of the inning. Freehan 0 for 2. Horton at first, 1 away. Here's Hannon's pitch. It's a 1-4 right-handed, and he walks him. To second goes Willie Horton. And here is Ray Euler. Wow. Just might have a game after all. 8-4 the score now. First and second, only 1 out. Hannon in the windup. 5-6. That's a grounder to third base. Signal to 13, and that's going to be knocked down by Savarin, but he has no play. That's an infield single, and the bases are loaded again. Freehan to second, Horton to third, and now Detroit will go to the bench, and you know who they're going to bring up now. And they're scurrying around now in the Washington pen, getting a left-hander going. Dick Lyons throwing. Out to the mound goes Camille. And coming to the plate is Gates Brown. I wish we could see his stats. Oh my goodness. And yeah, you guessed it, I just lost my computer again. That occurred while I was trying to get Brown's stats. So I can forget about getting anybody's stats, I guess. What a day of technical nightmare. Let's just put it this way. His numbers are good. I remember that much. This could be Hannon's last batter. Brown at the plate, 8-4 game. Brown represents the tying run at the plate, by the way. Still only 1 out. Hannon, the windup, 5-6 left-handed, base hit into right field. That's going to drive in 2. Here comes Horton to score. Freehan scores. Euler to third, and it's a 2-run ball game. 2 RBIs for Brown. 8-6 is the score, and here comes Hodges, and that'll do it for Hannon. So Hannon didn't have it. And Dick Lyons will be brought in now, a left-handed pitcher. Hannon got 1 out, third of an inning. So Browns at first, Oilers at third. In what is now an 8-7 ball game, with still only one out in the sixth. Dick McAuliffe comes to bat, and the Tigers bat around. How many Tiger fans gave up? Be honest now. Let's see how they're going to play it. The tying runs at third. And believe it or not, the Senators are pulling the infield in. And I say believe it or not, oh, wait a minute. 1, 2, 3, 5, 8-6. Excuse me, it's 8-6. The tying run isn't at third. That changes things. Brown is slow. Well, he's a good runner, but he's no threat to steal. Double play depth for McAuliffe. Lyons ready to go to work. 5-9 left-hander. Grounder to first base B. McMullen has it. He goes to Brinkman for one. Back to first, not in time, and that will score a run. He's forced. Oilers scores, give an RBI to McAuliffe, and now it's a one-run game. Trzaskowski, I would have pinch hit for him, but facing a lefty, he's probably going to bat. Jerry Lumpy, the other second baseman, is a left-handed hitter. So Trzaskowski will hit. Lyons with the pitch on a 3-2 lefty, grounder to shortstop. Brinkman has it, he goes to Blasingame for the force. Six-run sixth for the Tigers on 1, 2, 3, 4 hits. They leave one. Let's see how I'm going to work around this. Yeah, I'm not going to even mess with it. All that's going to do is confuse me. Easier to just move him over. Wow, the dust settles and suddenly it's 8-7. I should have double switched here too. Lyons is a 1. Sixth inning, they're going to stick with Lyons. With 2 of the 3 Detroit batters due up being lefties. Unless they have another lefty, I'm pretty sure they don't. They don't. Kind of boxed myself into a corner there, managing Washington rather. So Lyons will hit. He's a right-handed hitter. It's a 2-6. He struck him out. We'll see how that comes back to bite him or not. Here's Blasingame. Singled and walked so far. The pitch from Monbouquet is a 3-4 right-handed. He pops him up right side. Cash is there and puts it away. And here's Valentine. Double and a triple in this one. The pitch on a 1-6. Base hit into right field. And it's a cycle watch now for Valentine. He needs the home run. Valentine with great speed. Monbouquet a +2 hold. -3 arm for Freehan, of course. So 16 held at 14. He's going to roll for it. 3 through 6 for the 14. 7, he just misses it. And here's the pitch to Jim King. 2-7 righty, right in the heart of his good column. No, runner held single 2 stars, A++, and Valentine goes to third. Holy crap. This game's had a little bit of everything, including a lot of things we just as soon have not had. And I'm talking about from the computer side of things. That's funny. Ben never has a second cup of coffee at home. Here's Howard. Action in the Detroit bullpen once again. Fred Gladding, the righty. Johnny Padres, the lefty. Monbouquet facing Howard. Runners at the corners, 2 down. Here's the pitch on a 4-5 righty. Grounder shortstop X. That's Euler. Euler, a good shortstop, 228 into the hole. Here's the play on a 2, and he can't get it. He knocks it down and has no play, and a run will score. Oh my goodness. King scores. RBI for Howard. That makes it 9-7 Senators, and here's McMullen. Ken McMullen 0 for 3, struck out twice. Monbouquet the full windup. 2-9 righty. That's a base hit into center field. An open single. King rounding. He's a 12-14. K-line with a -4 gun. 1-10. With 2 outs, they're going to send him. Here's the throw to the plate. And he's gunned down by a mile. What a throw by Al K-line. K-line saves a run with his rifle arm there. And the Senators settle for a lone run on 4 hits. Man, talking about getting the least out of most. We're way over the real life score. Okay. Seventh inning. Washington let Lyons bat because of the hitters due up for Detroit. Let's see how it pans out. Cash will lead it off. He's 1 for 3 today. Lyons gets the sign. Here's the pitch to Cash. It's a 3-6 left-handed high fly ball to right field. Backing up his King at the track, at the wall, gone. Norm Cash gets the run right back with a leadoff homer. His 13th of the season. Nine to 8 is the score now, and here's K-line. Dick Lyons into the windup. 5-11 righty. Grounder to first. McMullen has it. Race to the bag, and McMullen gets there first. Here's Northrup now. Bob Humphreys and Ron Klein, 2 righties, begin tossing in the Washington pen. Lyons set. The pitch to Northrup on a 2-5 lefty. High fly ball to right field. Backing up his King on the track makes the catch. But Northrup gave it a ride. Hart stopped in Washington for a moment. But King catches it on the warning track for out number 2. Not out of the woods yet. Here's Willie Horton. Here comes the pitch from Dick Lyons on a 4-9 righty. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Tigers get a run on the Norm Cash home run. And we go to the stretch in a wild one with the Senators leading it 9-8. What a great game Strat-O-Matic is. I'm telling you, I got to get some coffee. Let's see if I can make sure to not touch anything, either lighting-wise or computer-wise, while I do that. One more cup of coffee for the road. Okay, one-run game. You've got Savarin, Camille, Brinkman. Monbouquet will start the inning. He's worked 2. He'll be on a short leash. Pitching to Bob Savarin, who's 2 for 3 today. Here's the windup and the pitch. It's a 110. That's a high fly ball to right. Backing up is Northrup, double to 6, and he just does catch up with it and puts it away for the first out. Nice running catch by Northrup in right. That'll bring up the catcher Camille, who's 1 for 3. The one hit a big one, 3-run homer in the first. The pitch from Monbouquet is a 1-2, grounder down to first. That's cash. He'll take it himself. And here's Steady Eddie Brinkman with 2 down. The windup and the pitch, 2-7 righty. Lifts a lazy fly ball to center. K-line barely has to move. And a fine performance today from Bill Monbouquet. That'll be his last inning. He ended up going 3. The right-handers are ready in the Washington pen. Lyons will be on a short hook here. Klein is ready to come in and try to nail it down. In fact, let me check that. Oh, I can't. Can't really mess around. Yeah, I'm for the Tigers too, but we got to play it as impartial as possible. For Washington, in this kind of a game, 9-7, they're going to go to Klein. And we'll look for the double switch. The only reason I hesitated in the first place is because he's due to lead off the bottom of the inning, but we'll look for a double switch. Savarin's at third, so if they had a first baseman, which we do. Okay, here's what we're going to do. McMullen will move to third. He's a 3E24. Nen will come into the 9 spot at first base. That's Dick Nen, a 2E15. And we'd be bringing in defense normally for Washington anyway at this juncture. So this makes a lot of sense. Pitcher will go in Savarin's spot. Frank Howard will also call it a day. Don Locke will replace him. He'll go to center field. Valentine will move to left. Lines worked lines what? Yeah, lines 1 2/3. Certainly not my best performance, fellas, but what a game, huh? And I can slide things a little bit more here. Eighth inning. For those who haven't been with me here lately, it'll be Mookie after the game, not at the stretch, because I'm afraid to touch the camera. Okay, eighth inning. Senators 9, Tigers 8. Freehand to lead it off. Ron Klein gets the sign from Camille. Here's the pitch. It's a 3-4 right-handed. Grounder to third, fielded by McMullen. Throws to first, one down. Here's the shortstop, Euler. Let's take a look at the Detroit bench. Both benches getting thin. Second base, you could go with Lumpy, I guess. Move McAuliffe to short. They got a hit for Euler. Jerry Lumpy will bat for Euler. He would remain in the game at second base. Left-handed hitter. Klein with a windup. The pitch is a 1-4 right-handed. Pops him up right side. Nen will take it. Pinch hitting for Monbouquet. It's going to be Don Wirt. Wait, Trzaskowski's at second. No, that works. McAuliffe will go to short. Yeah. Wirt will not only pinch hit, he'll stay in the game at third base. So 2 down for Wirt. Here's the windup, here's the pitch. 5-8 righty, grounded to second base X. That's Blasingame. He's a 4E14 to his left. Here's the play on an 11. Error range, it's a 2 on a 14. E1 on a 1, but the white die is a 2. He makes the play. Another close play on a white die split on the Snake Eyes. And that is a gem by Blasingame to complete a 1-2-3 inning. So let's see. He goes to... Lumpy stays at second, third, short. Oh, that puts the... That's no good. That puts the pitcher in Trzaskowski's spot. Holy crap, now I painted myself into a corner. Okay, McAuliffe could stay at third. Wirt will just be a pinch hitter. Pitcher goes in that spot. New pitcher for the Tigers. Facing Nen, Blasingame, Valentine. And that's going to be Padres, who's been ready. So Padres, the lefty, comes in. Washington out of first baseman now. They'll have to let the left-handed Nen face him. The pitch from Johnny Padres is a 1-7. Fly ball to center, routine for K-line. He's got it, 1 down. I think these should all be over here, actually. And that was yeah. Blasingame. All right, let's check the Washington bench. Why not? We got a mess of a scorecard anyway. Hamlin will take over at second for Blasingame. Ken Hamlin is the batter with 1 down. Padres with the sign. Here's the pitch on a 1-10 left-hander. He rips that to right field. That's going to go to the gap. Northrup picks it up, gets it back in, as Hamlin coasts in with a 1-out double. Valentine will turn around and bat right-handed. A double, a triple, and a single for Valentine today. You sure don't, Ben. Runner at second, 1 away. Padres into the full windup. It's a 1-7 lefty. Grounder to short, fielded by Euler. He looks him back and throws him out. So no cycle for Valentine. And here's the right fielder, Jim King. Padres gets the sign. 6-11 lefty. Fly ball to right field X. Tough chance for Northrup. This could be trouble. 4-7. Here's the play on a 2. It sure is. That's going to fall in for extra bases. Scoring is Hamlin on the double by King. And it's a big insurance run for Washington. That'll bring up Don Locke for his first at bat. I got to get these out of here because that's just going to confuse me. Padres pitching to Locke on a 3-9 left-handed. He struck him out. But a huge insurance run for the Senators on 2 doubles. We go to the 9th in a 10-8 ball game. Holy smoke. I want to thank everybody for hanging out with me today. Big crowd on hand, especially for an impromptu game that was not pre-scheduled. All right, let's see. We got to get a little bit more in the frame here. So it's McAuliffe, most likely a pinch hitter for Trzaskowski, and then the heart of the order. Boy, you sure didn't, Ben. What a crazy game, huh? It looked like it was over after 2 innings of play. Top of the order for the Tigers. Dick McAuliffe 0 for 4 today. Struck out twice. Ron Klein trying to notch the save. I'd like to tell you how many saves he has, but of course I cannot do that. I can't get to the Strat-O-Matic game right now. Here we go, 9th inning. McAuliffe batting lefty, Klein into the windup. That's going to be a 6-5 left-handed. A high fly ball to right field. Back, gone. And McAuliffe can touch them all. Holy crap, and they needed that insurance run. Dick McAuliffe goes yard to make it a 1-run game, and there's nobody out. Let's take a look at the Detroit bench. They don't have another infielder. That's the only problem. Lumpy's at second. Trzaskowski's at short. Anybody else in this lineup could play infield, we could make a move. But we can't. So Trzaskowski has to hit against Klein. Here's the pitch on a 6-8 right-handed, swung on and missed, strike 3. And it's the hat trick for Trzaskowski, not surprisingly. Cash and K-line do. 1-run game in the 9th, 1 away. Storm and Norman, 2 for 4 with a home run. Klein gets the sign from Camille. Here's the windup now. Here comes the pitch on a 5-7 left-handed high fly ball to deep right field. Backing up is King at the track at the wall, and he leaps up and makes the catch at the wall, robbing Cash of a home run. Oh my God, let's look at that again. 5-7 lefty, homer to 12. He came that close to tying the game. And it will be up to Al Kaline. I've seen enough to know that I've seen too much. Klein trying to nail it down. Kaline trying to keep it alive. Here's the pitch to Al Kaline on a 6-9 righty. Base hit into right center. Triple on a 1. Kaline with a base hit keeps it alive. Tying run aboard, 13. Klein with a deadly -5 hold, so you can forget about that. It's going to be up to Northrup. Northrup has cost this team dearly with his defense today. Here's his chance for redemption. He's 1 for 3, was hit by a pitch. 2 down in the 9th, tying run at first. Jim Northrup at the plate, Klein from the stretch. On a 5-8 left-handed second base X. That is now Hamlin, a 334. Here's the play. On an 11, E-range, it's a 10 on a 34. And can you believe it? He boots it and the inning is alive. Error on Hamlin. The tying run moves into scoring position. I'm looking for error. That's the first error of the game. It sure doesn't feel like it. There's been a lot of hits off the X chart, but apparently no errors. And here comes the red-hot Willie Horton. If you need any reminder of what he's done in the last 10 days, it's right there at the top of the score sheet. He's 0 for 4 today, however. Klein checks the runners. Full windup now, and the pitch to Horton is a 3-8 righty. Grounder to short, Brinkman, and that's the ball game. Oh my goodness, what a game. What a freaking ball game. Tigers come up short, but man alive, was that exciting. Ten to 9, is that right? Yep, 10 to 9. Hello, Jim Forbes. The Klein does get the save. Two hits and a run. No walks and a strikeout. Dick Lines gave up a hit and a run. The homer to Cash. No walks and a strikeout. Hannon came on. In just a third of an inning, gave up 4 hits. No, he didn't. Hang on, what the hell happened there? Strikeout. So this was Segui. Segui gave up all that. Hannon came on and gave up 3 hits, 3 runs. The other 4 runs were charged to Segui, it looks like. What a mess the score sheet is. Segui started this inning. Hannon had a walk, no strikeouts. 7, 8, 9. That's right. McLean was torched for 8 runs. Pena 2 1/3, just 1 hit, no runs. 1 walk, 1 strikeout. Monbouquet did a nice job, 3 innings. Not that nice of a job. He gave up 5 hits, but no runs. No, he gave up 1 run, excuse me. Yeah, there had to be another run in there. And my damn whiteout is betraying me now. Nothing is working right for me today. Here's Monbouquet. That's his other inning. So no walks, 2 strikeouts. They had the lead all the way. They never relinquished the lead, which means Segui's the winner. He's 4-6 now. And McLean's the loser, I guess. He drops to 6-4. Player of the game. Wow, you pick him. Hi, Bill. Valentine. Good a choice as any. Double, triple, and a single. Howard had a good game, driving in 4. Anyone else? Thoughts on that? I can't print it. I don't have a printer here. King. His double was the difference maker. I tell you guys, I can't decide. I'm leaning Howard with the 4 RBIs. 2 for 3 with a walk. Walk, bases loaded walk, forced in a run. The 2-run homer put the game away, and then he knocked in one in the 6th for good measure. I don't think it works that way, Ben, does it? I mean, at the time, it wasn't the game-winning RBI. That was an insurance run. I don't know how you figure. Without the RBI, it is 9-9. King also had 2 for 4 with a walk. Okay, you convinced me. I'm going to give it to King with an attaboy to Howard and a cup of joe to Valentine. Well, I'm going to have to regroup. I'm going to have to reboot my computer for one thing, because I can't click on anything without losing everything. The totals: Senators 10 runs, 13 hits and an error. The Tigers 9 runs, 10 hits and no errors. That reminds me of those t-shirts you see. My parents went to Hawaii and all I got was this lousy t-shirt. Holy crikeys. Okay, no game tomorrow for sure. I'll be out and about. And next game, honestly, I don't know. We're just flying by the seat of our pants here in Morro Bay. So I guess all I can say is I'll see you when I see you. This was a good one. Thanks again, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your... Oh, you know what? We haven't done Mookie. Watch, I'll lose the camera when I pull it out. That'll be the icing on the cake. Oh, look, we got it out without further damage. Where is the Mook? Mookie, where are you? Where the hell is he? Maybe he's back in the bedroom. Mookie, where are you? There he is. There's Mookie. Yeah. There's Mookie. Hello, buddy. How's life at the beach, Mookie? Huh? Yeah? Can I help you? Do you want something to eat? You want a snack? Huh? Let's check your bowl. Do you have anything? You still got some dry food. I'll get him a treat here in a minute. There is that handsome devil. He finally quit moving. Yeah, I'm going to post up a couple Mookie vids later too. So anyway, everybody, have a wonderful weekend. I'll see you in a couple of days. Take care, everybody. So long for now. From Morro Bay, California.